help fit, just tricks and snicks for fishing.
You know what, thinking about this, there's a guy, one of my officers that I work with, it's been over a year now, put on YouTube for a traffic stop he did. And it's this black guy that drives around in Springfield.
I know who he is.
I'm sorry? Like what? No, I pulled over so you wouldn't be behind me, and then for some reason I seen you pull over again, so I turned to avoid you. I'm sorry. Why I didn't want you to follow me? Because then you'll find a violation to pull me over for.
Okay, you know who he is?
I met him.
Okay.
I know exactly who he is. His name's Quentin Booker.
Okay, now I'll tell you this. Watching that stop, watching that video, now I'll tell you what he did. Now, I didn't agree with him on this one, and I'll tell you why, and I'm being fair about it. He comes through Grandview, and he never shows his speed. He says, am I speeding? Like he's writing it out or whatever. And he never shows his speed. Well, the guy who pulls him over, he's not an aggressive bad cop. If you knew the guy,
I understand.
By any means is he that. Well, what he did it anyways in a stop, pulls him over for speeding. Says I think he was going like 42 or something to 30. So he pulls him over, which we usually give people about 10, 11 miles an hour over before we pull them over, normally. So what he did with him, he said at the time, seatbelt violations weren't moving violations. So he said, what I'm going to do for you, I'll cut you a break. I'm going to write you a citation, but I'll give you a seatbelt instead of a speeding ticket. Now, it doesn't go on your driving record. There's no points against your license. It's cheaper if you just want to pay it.
Let me step over here so I ain't blowing smoke in your face, Jason. I'm sorry.
But what his thing was on his YouTube video, he made it seem like this was this big scam that we're doing to make money.
Sure. Now, some are going to say it is. That's their opinion. Okay. I have my own. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just feel that a lot of cops, when they run that plate, they want to fuck with him. And I know, I haven't watched all of Quentin's videos, but I've watched the majority of. And I hate to say it, but the city has exposed themselves too many times to him, and he's published it.
He's done a lot of city.
You understand what I'm saying? Guys, and they've burnt. No, it's always the city. I'm sorry to say that. That's why I haven't watched that video with Grandviews, because it's always the city that fucks with him.
Right.
And if they would quit fucking with him, the guy would be probably fucking have money to take his kids on vacation or something. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get pulled over and get handed tickets all the time, you understand what I'm saying? Even I know that's bullshit. And
I'm just saying, in that one video, he did him a favor, and listen, he made it he spun it like Jason, it was this big conspiracy.
Most of you will be happy if a cop stopped you for speeding, and instead of giving you a speeding ticket, they gave you a seatbelt ticket, right? And I know you're saying, dying to live, he's doing you a favor, but I'll tell you, a favor is not writing a ticket at all. But if you're willing to lie on your report and say, I stopped him for a seatbelt violation instead of speeding, where does the line end? And now every report ever written by him is in question. There's only two reasons a cop is willing to change a ticket. One, they can't prove what they accuse you of, or two, they don't want to go to court and they just want a quick payout. And by making you think they're doing you a favor, you're likely just to pay it, and he just swindled you out of your hard-earned money for his town. It's truly a scam. And once I exposed him on YouTube, he wanted to get a little payback. On 3/3/2019, I, Height Thomas L., badge number 646, was getting ready to start my shift at Grandview Police Department, relieving Officer John Pierce, badge number 645. Officer Pierce was watching posts from a YouTube page posted by the aforementioned suspect Booker. Pierce further advised me that I was on one of the recorded segments performing a traffic stop on Booker and his girlfriend on North Grand Avenue back on December the 8th, 2018 at 11:34 p.m. From the video aired on YouTube, it does show me in a conversation with Mr. Booker. Same date, but his timestamp was an hour fast showing 12:34 a.m. During this encounter with Booker, I had no indication of being secretly recorded, which he aired on social media website without my knowledge that such tape existed. I also have record of this encounter from the department body camera. Reviewing both segments, again, no mention of being recorded. As of today, a check of the Sangamon County Court's record indicates Booker has failed to pay the fine on the ticket issued that night. He wanted me charged with illegal taping and recording of a police officer. And it's funny because I went back and reviewed the tapes as well. And not once did he mention he was recording me. Now, call me stupid, but if you want me charged, wouldn't we be guilty of the same thing? I'm glad the state's attorney saw it my way. The state's attorney responded to this idiot who don't know the law. Pretty much, I'm sorry it's sideways, y'all. And this is the response. Insufficient evidence, no probable cause, no crime. DW, that's the state's attorney name, advised Chief Height that conduct reflected in report number 18-2077 was lawful in that law enforcement does not have an expectation of privacy in public interactions during the performance of official duties under 720 ILCS. And you can look up the code on that, man. But that's the chief of a whole township. Don't even know that it's legal. Photography is not a crime, brother. I don't have to tell you I'm recording. I don't understand that. The dude didn't mention to me one time he was recording me. Yeah, he pulled me over and tried to get me charged for illegal taping. What type of... I always say, each encounter is truly a teachable moment. It was so clear Officer Newman had an agenda, and I truly believe he thought he'd show the bosses he could tame a dude like me. But or was he wrong? His arrest of me only fueled my fire for justice even more. I had reached out to a few local lawyers regarding these matters, but none, absolutely none, would take the case. A wise man once told me, when you're getting jumped on, put your back against the wall so no one can get behind you and keep swinging. On March 4th, 2019, Bulletin 2019-033 was released regarding Quentin Booker arguing with police officers and posting videos of the interactions on YouTube. On 4/17/2019, at 18:51 hours, officers was attempting to ban Booker from Springfield Housing Authority properties, including Brandon Court, where this incident took place. Booker was wearing a body-worn camera and using his cell phone to document the incident. Booker refused to leave the property and continued to yell racial slurs and curse at officers present and was eventually arrested for criminal trespass. After bonding out, Booker came to the police department to demand his camera and phone back, which was taken as evidence. He proceeded to cause a scene and yell for several minutes until finally leaving on his own. Please be aware of Booker and his history of filming police and refusing to identify himself. Show this to your chief, okay? This body cam. Show it to your chief, okay? Quentin Booker was robbed tonight, okay? He was falsely arrested for trespassing. On top of that, his property was stolen, namely his cell phone and his body cam. Okay? You guys requested his car to be towed. The car was towed. It's gone. I don't know where it's at, okay? I come in here, I'm irate. Before you turn your body cam on, you was rude as shit to me. Now you quiet as a mouse because your body cam on, okay? So I want your body cam to record this, okay? Because I'm going to request it. I want to know what you said 45 seconds before you turned it on, okay? So tell Chief Winslow that his officers are out here robbing the public, okay? Report that, because you was rude as shit before you had your body cam on. Now your body cam on, you sit there in silence and play the victim role, right? The mad black man, right? No. Learn some fucking manners when people come in here to talk to somebody. Okay? Learn some manners, and then you won't have me standing in your face saying the things I'm saying right now. Learn some. Learn how to do your job. Keep your motherfucking oath. Royal. See you in traffic, boo. So I prepared my defense on one fact, and that Newman was a liar. I would discredit his word, not only his word, but his investigation skills. I would also challenge his qualified immunity by showing the courts not only did he know he was lying, he only lied to secure an arrest. Now, I know I couldn't prove that he was already aware of the property line, but I was going to attack his lack of proper investigation skills to make such an arrest.
Where did he go to when he was walking up to?
He walked to the gate. On the other side there, he walked up to the gate into the little grassy area, you know, where they're standing at, on the other side of the sidewalk, which is that grassy area right there, which is also Brandon.
No, that is, as I agree with. I'm somewhat confused. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know this to be Brandon's property.
City sidewalk. That's called a city sidewalk right there, Mr. Newman. It's called a sidewalk, Mr. Newman.
Quentin exited his vehicle, which was parked on the South Side Road across from the SHA property, and walked to the edge of the SHA property, where he continued to record officers with his cell phone and body-worn camera. Quentin continued to yell and curse at officers in the presence of multiple juveniles. Quentin called officers blank, 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 and blank, blank, blank. Quentin stated, "Officer Newman, you a sellout, you blank, blank, blank." Quentin continued to yell racial slurs and curse in the presence of juveniles between the ages of 2 and 17 years old. While filming officers, Quentin stepped onto the grassy area north of the sidewalk, which is SHA property, which he later admits to Sergeant Castle as 392, but advised that he didn't go past the gate. Quentin continued this behavior for approximately 20 minutes before getting back into his vehicle. After entering back into his vehicle, Quentin drove his vehicle north directly into the SHA parking area, where he exited his vehicle. The parking area on the south side of the SHA is property of SHA. In the past, any vehicles parked in this area are allowed to park there with the permission of SHA, and any vehicle in violation are towed by SHA. Officer Van Bruin called the director of SHA, Robin Dowis, to verify that the parking area south of SHA is SHA property. Robin Dowis verified that the parking area that Quentin parked his vehicle in is SHA property. Let's play a game of colors to make this make sense. This is an overhead view of the property. If you can spot the red dot, that's originally where I was banned and trespassed from the property from. Upon me being at that red dot, I took my vehicle to the blue dot. Can you find the blue dot? All right, great. Now, let Newman claim I got out my vehicle at the blue dot and I went to the pink spot. Can you find a pink spot? Pink, pink, pink. Everybody got pink? There we go. After leaving the pink spot, I went back to the blue spot where my vehicle was. I got in my vehicle and I went to the yellow spot. Can you find the yellow spot? Ding, 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 ding. That's where he decided to arrest me for trespassing at. Now, riddle me this. Why didn't Officer Newman arrest me at the pink spot instead of allowing me to make it all the way to the yellow spot before he decided to arrest me for trespassing? Now, lastly, Mr. Newman contends that the yellow spot is SHA property, and that's why he's arresting me. But no doubt, I was at the pink. So if that turns out to be not SHA property, which he knows is not, he'll just use the pink as his excuse for his arrest. The only question is, Mr. Newman, why didn't you arrest Quentin Booker at the pink? I was going to destroy Newman on the stand. And then I'll say, no further questions, and walk away. And then I'll stop and turn around like Columbo and say, oh, you know what, Your Honor, I'm sorry. One more question for Mr. Newman. If you had saw Mr. Booker at the pink, why did you need to call SHA to verify the yellow? And before I finally sit down, I'll throw a comment in there like, isn't it true you only came up with the pink because your own sergeant questioned your yellow arrest, and because you didn't want to look like Miss Blair, that you decided to lie to protect your record in your arrest so you don't become the laughingstock of the whole department? And the state would object, but by then, the seed was sown. Lucky for him, I didn't even have to battle Newman in court. Shortly after the arrest, I heard back from the ACLU. And although at the time they made me no promises, they assured me they'll look into what the hell was going on. The ACLU sent this letter out on my behalf to all names above. Dear Chief Police Winslow, State's Attorney Wright, Corporation Counsel Zirkle, and the Springfield City Clerk. On behalf of Quentin Booker, I write to confirm my office request made on Friday, May 24th to State's Attorney Wright and John Zimmerman that the Springfield Police Department and the Sangamon County State's Attorney Office prevent the spoliation of all records related to 1. Mr. Booker's February the 16th, 2019 arrest, 2. Mr. Booker's April the 17th, 2019 arrest, 3. Any contacts between Mr. Booker and the Springfield Police Department, and 4. Any other records about Mr. Booker into possession of the Springfield Police Department and Sangamon County State's Attorney Office, including but not limited to any memos or communications between city, county, or police department employees. While we seek the retention of all these documents, we specifically believe that the Springfield Police Department has a memo, email, or bulletin created and circulated by an Officer Newman about Mr. Booker, and that additional text messages were exchanged between officers about Mr. Booker when he was arrested on April the 17th, 2019. We also note that Mr. Booker's cell phone and body camera was seized on April the 17th, 2019. Mr. Booker is a service professional, and his ability to earn a steady income and provide for his family has been impaired by his inability to access his work phone. We ask that it and his body camera be returned as soon as possible. Please contact me no later than the close of business on May 31st and advise me of your position on this matter. Please also advise whether there is anyone else in your respective departments to whom this request should be addressed. Yes, the ACLU had come just in time, because ever since the Officer Blair arrested me, I had a couple strange police encounters that just didn't add up for me. Like, listen to this cop pretend not to know who I am, but then in the same breath tell me my brother's trying to keep the peace between them and I.
Gotta catch up. QU.
I apologize. You got your flashlight just like right in my eyes. I apologize.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. Sorry about that.
Q-U-E-N-T-I-N.
Q-U-E-N-T-I-N.
Yep. Middle initial T.
Booker.
Last name Booker.
Andre's brother, right?
Yep.
I just heard from him yesterday.
Was it good things?
Yeah,
that's
yeah. He's
right.
just trying to get everything squashed, man.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's looking out for you.
He's just trying to get everything squashed, man. No, that's what's up. Yeah, he's looking out for you.
Yeah, he's just trying to get everything squashed, man.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's looking out for you.
Or this cop who drives past my house only to see me coming out, then makes a U-turn to make contact with me, refuse to identify himself with a message that seems to me like a warning.
Recording started.
I'm all right.
Doing all right?
Yeah, I am. What's going on with it?
Chilling, man. You doing okay?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Are you Mr. Booker?
I am.
I've seen the videos you've been doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you see him.
I mean,
What's your name?
I'm Demario, man. What's your name, brother?
Demario?
Demario.
Nice to meet you. That's your first name?
That's my first name.
What's your badge number?
What do you need all that for?
Well, I just want to know who I'm speaking with.
You don't need all that.
I don't need all
My
that?
name's Demario.
But
I can see like what you're doing. It's good. You make sure that I'm taking my camera off. You make sure that people are on point. You know, you make sure that people are, you know, crossing their T's and dotting their I's whenever they're doing certain things.
Make sure that taking my camera off. Make sure that people are on point. You know, you make sure that people are, you know, crossing their T's and dotting their I's whenever they're doing certain things.
Either I was just paranoid or my inner being was speaking to me, letting me know of the dangers ahead. Newman had dodged my bullet, but would I dodge theirs in return is the real question. Thanks to the ACLU, the case bought by Newman was dropped and I got my property back faster than I ever seen these people work. Now I wanted payback. It was time for these folks to hear my cry of enough. Hey, I appreciate you folks joining me for part 3. Hit the like on this video. Hey, look, I'm just trying to tell a story, and I appreciate you guys giving me the platform to do it. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Ain't nothing but love, blessings, peace, and always respect.